Forget everything you thought you knew about tanks. While the powerful M-one-A-two Abrams and the formidable KF-fifty-one Panther grab the spotlight with their firepower, Japan's Type 10 is quietly changing the game. Sleek, fast, and adaptable, this tank is built for more than just combat. It's designed for precision and speed. Whether it's taking on enemy tanks, making quick strikes, or handling the most challenging battle scenarios, the Type 10 excels. But what makes this Japanese beast stand out from the rest? Could it be more formidable than the United States and Germany's battle tanks? Join us as we explore all of the intriguing reasons why this Japanese tank will change everything. 70 years ago, on July 5, 1943, the Battle of Kursk began, becoming one of the deadliest tank battles in history. The skies over the Russian city of Kursk exploded with firepower as German tanks, including the fearsome Tigers and massive Ferdinand tank destroyers, charged into battle. These German tanks were deadly machines, built to crush their enemies with overwhelming force. One German tank commander even managed to destroy 22 Soviet tanks in under an hour, demonstrating the power of these war machines. But the Soviets didn't back down. With over 6,000 heavy tanks of their own, the Russian forces fought with determination. They used close-quarters tactics, planting mines under the German tanks to disable them. Despite the Germans' powerful tanks, the Russians' fierce resistance and dangerous strategies turned the tide of the battle. After 8 intense days, the German tanks were worn down and unable to continue their attack. The Soviet counteroffensives then crushed the German forces, delivering a crushing blow to their ability to fight on the Eastern Front. The Battle of Kursk proved just how deadly tanks can be, changing the course of the war and altering who holds the upper hand. Tanks, with their armored shells and powerful guns, have long been feared on the battlefield. Whether it's the terrifying German Tigers or the Soviet T-34s, these machines have always been designed for sheer destruction. Their firepower and strength make them some of the most lethal weapons ever built for war. In modern times, tanks remain just as deadly. Though air power has dominated modern warfare, the presence of these massive machines continues to intimidate adversaries. The US and Germany have long led the way in tank development, but now Japan has joined this exclusive group. With the introduction of its own advanced Type 10 tank, Japan might just have secured its place among the nations that wield some of the world's most potent and formidable military machines. The development of the Type 10 main battle tank began in 2002 by Japan's Technical Research and Development Institute. By 2006, a prototype was ready, and testing took place in 2007 and 2008. After completing further trials on shooting and networking, TRDI finished the development in 2009 and started full production in 2010. The Type 10 MBT was designed to replace Japan's older Type 74 and Type 90 tanks. It features significant upgrades in areas like mobility, protection, firepower, and overall performance, making it one of the world's top 10 battle tanks. Japan's journey with modern tanks began in the 1960s when it became clear that the older Type 61 wouldn't be able to keep up with newer Soviet designs like the T-62. To address this, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries began developing a new tank, which became the Type 74. The first prototype was completed in 1969, and the tank entered full production by 1975. The Type 74 was designed using ideas from Western tanks, placing it in the same category as the M60 Patton and the Leopard 1. However, by the time the tank entered service in the 1980s, newer and more advanced Western designs were already available, leaving the Type 74 outdated even before it fully joined the Army. Production ended in 1989, and only about 890 units were built. The Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force was the only operator of this tank, as Japanese laws prohibited military exports. The Type 74 design included a cast turret similar to that of the French AMX-30. It was armed with a 105mm rifled gun, which was the British L7 gun made under license in Japan. Early prototypes of the Type 74 had an autoloader, but it was removed due to complexity and cost. The tank was initially equipped with high explosive rounds, but later upgraded to more advanced armor-piercing rounds. It carried 55 rounds for the main gun, with 14 rounds stored in the turret and the rest in the hull. One of the exceptional features of the Type 74 was its fire control system, which was revolutionary at the time. It was the first tank in the world to include a computer for ballistic calculations and a laser rangefinder. Later versions of the tank were upgraded with infrared imagers, which made the tank even more effective in combat. The secondary weapons included a 7.62 coaxial machine gun and a 12.7mm machine gun mounted on the roof. The Type 74 also featured an all-welded hull, NBC protection, also known as nuclear, biological, and chemical protection, and an automatic fire suppression system. It had a crew of 4, a commander, gunner, loader, and driver. Over the years, the Type 74 became outdated, and Japan moved forward with the development of the Type 10, which is now one of the most advanced tanks on the global stage. The Type 10 is an embodiment of Japan's military innovation and a formidable force in modern armored warfare, joining a select group of nations, including the US and Germany, with access to such powerful battle tanks. With its cutting-edge technology, high maneuverability, and superior performance, the Type 10 is now a key player in Japan's defense strategy, marking a new chapter in the evolution of military tanks. The Type 10 MBT is equipped with a sophisticated turret featuring an automatic loading system. This advanced system allows the turret to rotate 360 degrees, ensuring it can track and target enemy forces from any direction. The tank is armed with a powerful 120mm L-44 smoothbore gun, which is manufactured by Japan's Steelworks under license. This gun offers immense firepower and precision, making it a formidable weapon on the battlefield. The 120mm L-44 smoothbore gun is capable of using all standard NATO 120mm rounds, as well as those specifically designed for the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force. However, the most intriguing feature is the Type 10's ability to fire the Type 10 APFSDS, or armor-piercing, fin-stabilized, discarding sabot round. This unique round is specially designed for the Type 10 and can only be fired by this tank's gun, giving it a significant edge in terms of firepower over its competitors. One of the key innovations in the Type 10 is the auto-loading mechanism, which eliminates the need for a dedicated crew member to load the gun. As a result, the Type 10 operates with a smaller crew of just 3, the commander and gunner in the turret, and the driver in the hull. This reduction in crew size contributes to the tank's efficiency and overall performance, while also minimizing the risk to personnel. The auto-loading mechanism is housed in the rear section of the turret, giving the tank its distinctive appearance. The gun is aimed with the help of a set of advanced sighting arrays that provide 360-degree visibility, both day and night. These sighting systems offer exceptional target identification and tracking capabilities, even in low-visibility conditions. Additionally, the barrel of the gun is fitted with a muzzle reference sensor located to the right of the muzzle. This sensor plays a crucial role by detecting any slight deformation or warp in the barrel, ensuring the gun maintains optimal accuracy at all times. However, the most important question is how effective and formidable it really is when compared to battle tanks from other developed nations. So how does the Type 10 compare to the United States M-one-A-two Abrams and the German KF-fifty-one? The M-one-A-two Abrams is one of the strongest and most respected tanks in the world, used by the US Army. Weighing about 68 tons, it combines powerful armor, heavy firepower, and impressive speed for its size. Its main weapon is a 120mm smoothbore gun, capable of firing various types of ammunition. This allows it to destroy heavily armored targets with ease and gives it a big advantage in battle. The tank is operated by a crew of 4 people, a commander, gunner, loader, and driver. Inside, it is packed with advanced technology like thermal imaging, computerized fire control, and reactive armor, which helps it survive enemy attacks. With these features, the M-one-A-two is not just tough, it's smart too, making it a fearsome opponent on any battlefield. The M-one-A-two was officially approved for production in 1990 as an upgraded version of the M-one-A-one Abrams. At first glance, the two tanks look pretty similar, but the M-one-A-two introduced major improvements on the inside. On the outside, the most significant changes include a redesigned commander's weapon station and a new commander's independent thermal viewer, located near the loader's hatch. These upgrades help the tank become even more powerful and effective. One of the most impressive innovations inside the M-one-A-two is the Inter-Vehicle Information System, also known as IVIS. This smart system lets different vehicles share information with each other instantly and automatically. Thanks to an onboard navigation system, commanders can track their units' locations in real time without distracting the crews. IVIS also lets soldiers quickly mark enemy positions, send artillery requests, and share mission orders. Everything is fast, automatic, and smooth, helping the whole team stay connected in the heat of battle. To keep this valuable information secure, all IVIS data is transmitted through a secure SINC-GARS radio system, making it difficult for enemies to intercept. The M-one-A-two also improves on the hunter-killer method first used by Germany's Leopard 2 tank. With the new commander's independent thermal viewer, the tank commander can now search for targets at any time, day or night, and even through smoke or bad weather, while the gunner focuses on firing. This speeds up the tank's ability to find and destroy enemies before they even know what's happening. Besides IVIS and CITV, the M-one-A-two also receives several electrical upgrades. Power is now distributed through multiple paths within the tank, so if one part is damaged, electricity can still reach critical systems via backup routes. The driver's controls were updated with a new digital display, and the gunner's primary sight was stabilized better, meaning more accurate shots even when the tank is moving. In 1995, the U.S. Army introduced another improvement, known as the M-one-A-two System Enhancement Package. This upgrade aimed to bring all M1 and M-one-A-two tanks up to the same modern standard. Major changes included a new auxiliary power unit placed under the armor and an air conditioning system to keep the crew cool during long missions. Inside the tank, upgrades included a color display for the IVIS system, a full-size keyboard, digital maps, graphic generation tools, and even voice recognition. The gunner's sight, the intercom, and radio systems were also improved to make communication faster and clearer during fights. Production of brand new M-one-A-twos stopped after 627 tanks were built. However, the Army began upgrading 547 older M1s to the new M-one-A-two standard, which involved rebuilding the turret almost completely. Existing M-one-A-two tanks were also retrofitted to match the SCP upgrades, ensuring all U.S. Army tanks stayed deadly, smart, and ready for modern combat. Comparing the capabilities of the American M-one-A-two Abrams and Japan's Type 10 is quite interesting. Both are fierce in their own ways, but they were built with very different ideas in mind. One is a massive heavyweight made to crush anything in its path. The other is a fast and smart fighter, made to dance around enemies with speed and technology. Let's dive into what makes these two tanks so unique. First, let's talk about size and weight. The M-one-A-two Abrams is a giant, tipping the scales at about 68 tons. It's built like a fortress on tracks, able to take a beating and keep moving. On the other hand, the Type 10 is much lighter, weighing around 44 tons. Japan designed it to be fast and agile, perfect for the country's many mountains and tight spaces. While the Abrams is like a heavyweight boxer, the Type 10 is more like a quick and clever martial artist. Both tanks pack serious firepower. The Abrams is armed with a 120mm smoothbore gun that can fire a variety of NATO rounds. This gives it great flexibility against different types of targets, from enemy tanks to bunkers. The Type 10 also uses a 120mm smoothbore gun, built specially by Japan Steelworks. It can fire regular NATO rounds too, but it also has a special trick up its sleeve, the Type 10A PFS-DS round, a unique armor-piercing shell designed for maximum punch against modern armor. The crews inside these tanks are a little different too. The M-one-A-two Abrams needs 4 soldiers to operate: a commander, a gunner, a loader, and a driver. In contrast, the Type 10 only needs 3 because it has an automatic loading system that handles the job of loading shells into the gun. This not only saves space inside the tank, but also makes it a little lighter and faster. Technology is where both tanks really shine. The M-one-A-two Abrams is loaded with high-end tech, including thermal imaging to spot enemies day or night, a commander's independent thermal viewer that lets the commander find and mark targets even while the gunner is firing, and the smart inter-vehicle information system, which allows tanks to talk to each other and share battlefield information instantly. The Type 10, while smaller, is no slouch in the technology department either. It has full day and night sights, a muzzle reference sensor that checks if the barrel has warp during battle, and a smart communication system that lets it share data with other units in real time. Plus, the Type 10 can actually adjust its suspension to lower or raise itself, giving it better firing angles or making it harder to hit. Armor is another big difference. The M-one-A-two Abrams is like a tank in the truest sense. It uses thick composite and reactive armor to survive direct hits. Meanwhile, the Type 10 uses modular armor, which means armor plates can be swapped out depending on the mission. If speed is needed, it can go lighter. If protection is needed, it can bulk up. Eventually, the choice between these two tanks comes down to what one needs on the battlefield. The M-one-A-two Abrams is a fearsome force, made to dominate in heavy, head-on battles where firepower and protection matter most. The Type 10 is made for fast, smart warfare, where quick moves, good communication, and flexibility win the day. But how do both of them compare to the renowned and formidable KF-51? The defense world has been buzzing about the KF-51 Panther tank, and it's easy to see why. At the heart of its power is a brand new gun called the Future Gun System. It's not just a new paint job. This 130mm gun is a game changer. It's bigger than the usual 120mm guns and fires faster, reaching targets up to 3,500 meters away, about 1,000 meters farther than most tanks. This gives the Panther a considerable advantage. It can hit enemies before they can even fire back. The Future Gun System isn't just strong, it's smart. It can fire regular armor-piercing and explosive rounds, but it also has special programmable ammo that can explode in the air, hitting drones and hidden soldiers. However, it does carry fewer rounds than other tanks. Luckily, the Panther's autoloader system makes up for this. While many Russian tanks have utilized autoloaders for years, this is a new development for German tanks. It allows faster shooting, 2 rounds every 3 seconds, and gives the tank a lower, harder-to-spot profile. Inside, the Panther has 4 seats instead of the usual 3. The extra seat can be used by a drone operator or a company commander. And the Panther isn't just about heavy guns, it's loaded with extra gadgets too. It has a 7.62mm machine gun mounted on top, called the N, that can shoot almost straight up, mainly to defend against enemy drones. It also carries 4 Israeli Hero 120 loitering munitions, which are flying bombs that can circle the sky for an hour before striking. Defense doesn't stop there. The Panther has a top attack protection system to guard against missiles attacking from above. If that fails, there's the rapid obscuring system, which blasts special smoke to block enemy sensors. And if all else fails, the Panther is wrapped in explosive reactive armor that punches back at incoming weapons. But the Panther is not just muscle, it's brains too. Thanks to NATO's new tech rules, it's designed to easily accept new upgrades. It can send live info across the battlefield, acting like a scout and a fighter all at once. Using small drones, the Panther can spy far ahead without putting itself in danger. For all this gear, one might think the Panther would be slow. Not at all. It weighs just 59 tons, lighter than the 70-ton M1 Abrams, and its 1,500 horsepower engine gives it a power-to-weight ratio of 25. This means it can climb steep hills, cross trenches, ford deep water, and still hit speeds of 70 kilometers per hour. It can also travel over 500 kilometers on a single tank of gas. When compared to tanks like America's M1 Abrams and Russia's T-14 Armata, the Panther stands out. The M1 Abrams is powerful but heavier and less nimble. The T-14 has advanced ideas but has struggled with real-world use. The Panther, combining firepower, protection, speed, and smart tech, looks to be the best of the three. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.